Hello, I'm Erin Elizabeth and I am joined today with Uncle Peter, and he is here with me for a conversation with Cacao. Ching ching.
Chin chin.
All right, so I'm so excited to have you join me today. Not quite what you were expecting. Uncle Peter is nothing but honest, I've got to tell you that. You always know what he's thinking.
Yeah.
And the Cacao took him a little bit by surprise, but I can guarantee, well, I think I can, that
It's a lot stronger than I thought it was going to be.
It's like drinking a cup of
Carob,
melted chocolate.
Carob chocolate.
Yes, yeah. So it's probably not as sweet as what you're used to.
No, it's very nice, actually.
Touch of chili in there.
I'm going to say there's a touch of chili.
Yes, there is. So the reason why I'm excited to be doing this with you today is one of my earliest memories outside of sharing a room with my sister and having a common ghost in our room is spending some time at your place in Bullaburra. As a teenager, I'm going to say I was probably around 16 years old, 15, 16 years old. And we're sitting at your dining table and you just said, "Here, Erin, give me your palm." And you just started reading my palm. And I was gobsmacked. It was like, how can you just jump into my head and know what my personality is? That's something I don't tell anybody. And I don't even admit it to myself.
Well, I don't remember doing it.
No, well, you were clearly the messenger.
Yeah.
But I was absolutely blown away and a little bit freaked out, not in a spooky kind of way, but just I felt so exposed all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Because what I thought was hidden within me just got verbalized to me so clearly that I was shocked, but it has stuck with me.
Well, you'd think I'd remember that because I very, very rarely ask to see someone's hand.
Well,
very rarely.
You did, and there was it's sort of explaining the lines and how many children I might have, and I remember you saying that based on, I guess, what my lifeline is, because I don't know a lot about palm reading myself, that I would die at a good age, not old age, but old enough that I'd lived a good life.
Did I say that?
You did.
Gosh.
Yes, you did indeed. So what are your maybe early memories of having some kind of spiritual connection or understanding there was more than just us as humans here?
There isn't anything specific in my life that I can look at and say, that's when the penny dropped, because there wasn't. Just every now and again I'd say something to people and they would wonder how I knew it. And I'd say, I don't know how I know it. Or I can see something in my mind's eye that happens, but it hasn't happened.
Yep.
And hours later, minutes later, a week later, that will happen. Like the most vivid one I saw was a car crash. And one car had obviously come out of a car park and hit a car that was travelling straight. And I drove into the car park and I came out a different exit because I didn't want to be anywhere near the accident. But there was no accident. I went home and 40 minutes later I had to go back to pick up something. And when I went back, there were the two cars crashed. And the only thing different between what I was seeing here in my mind was there was a police car there at the accident in the reality of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So a premonition.
Yes. I get premonitions all the time. A lot of that. But I don't always remember them because they're insignificant when I have them.
Yes.
And then when it happens, I don't notice.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Except for this one where you remember it quite clearly.
Yeah.
Do you have any sort of premonitions coming through in your dreams as well?
No.
So
I hardly ever remember a dream.
Right. So this is waking sort of visions that you have.
Yeah.
And it is a vision, like you can kind of see it in your mind's eye.
In my mind's eye, I see it very clearly, but it's not there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you get a feeling with that as well? Do you get that kind of a sense of dread or no, just vision?
It's just,
And do you ever tell anybody when you've seen it, or you might not understand the significance of it when you have it?
Well, I never used to understand the significance of it until that really vivid one with the car accident. Yeah.
So I know that you learned to read tarot cards. How did that come about?
I was doing working a cruise on a P&O ship, and one of the passengers was called Kathleen McCormack, and she used to read tarot cards and she used to teach. And I got talking to her on the cruise, and then I signed up for 6 lessons or something. And she used to say I was her star pupil. And I never felt all that clever, or in the practice readings, I never felt it was true because they were practice readings.
Yes.
And I used to think I used to feel they were empty readings. But if I sat down with somebody to read their cards, then it became real.
Yes.
Yeah. And apparently I was very good at it. And then I gave it up when I was about 33. And I actually went to the point of burning the tarot cards that I had. And then years later, I was given another pack.
Mm.
Yeah.
Was there something that happened as to why you gave it up?
Yeah, because I thought I got God, remember?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, there is a...
And through the psychic thing, I was able to sort out that whole thing of Jesus and God and Mary. I could sort it out in my mind to suit me.
Yep.
In other words, the stories were basically myth.
Yep.
And I found that I got very comfortable with the fact that all those Bible stories are basically myth. Mm-hmm. Especially the meaning that the Catholic Church would put on them.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you be open to having a look at a card with me?
The answer is yes. And what?
Just going to pull a random tarot card.
Yeah.
And
we talk about our feelings.
We could. We could. But what is it? I guess, what are you getting from the card in this moment?
Right.
And then one card with many. Now, I know that I'll explain the card to you.
It's a sorrow card.
Can you see that well enough?
Yeah, it's the guy. What number is it?
It's the 6 of Swords.
It's the 6 of Wands, isn't it?
No, Swords.
Oh, yeah, Swords, 6 of Swords, yeah. Now, he's taking somebody up a river, isn't he?
Mm.
But there's a great sadness about it. It's not a happy journey. I'm picking up fear.
Mm.
Someone's frightened of where they're being taken, and they don't really want to go, but they know they have to solve the problem. That make any sense?
Absolutely, it does.
Yeah, if I try to pick up any more.
Yeah, no, and succinct and to the point.
Yep.
And this is what I love about when I teach tarot is there's the meaning of the card, but then there's the connection that people have to it, and it's the jumping off point for people, for the intuition and the message to come through.
Yeah.
Because in this particular moment, you're picking up someone's frightened about where they're headed to.
Yeah.
And yet in the card, it's moving into smoother waters and there's safe passage ahead. But it doesn't mean that someone's not worried about what that looks like because they're fleeing conflict.
Yeah.
They've just been in conflict where it's been really unfair.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just for showing everyone what the card is.
The 6 of Swords.
How we how one card can start a conversation.
Yeah.
And this conversation is about moving on, whether you're fearful of what you're moving on to or fearful of what you've moved on from.
to complete your story.
Yes, yeah, but you've got to move on because there's been hardship.
I wonder what the sadness is.
You can't see her face.
Yeah.
In the passenger, and you know, the sadness is there was someone you couldn't trust. Someone was being unfair and untrue and unkind and winning at all costs, and you've been hurt by that.
Yeah, and there was a sense of somebody being left behind.
Yeah, the person that you thought you could trust, perhaps.
Yeah.
That's been left behind, and so you read the cards for a variety of people and got some really good feedback about how you
over the years
delivered the messages, and you lost maybe a little bit of touch with them again. Was that for any particular reason, or it just petered out?
Just petered out. Yeah. But I read for people I had never met in my life.
Yeah.
And I can't remember who they were, what they were. I just remember doing it for people who had asked. And one particular guy, he came all the way up from Sydney to Hazelbrook for me to read his cards. And the first thing I picked up was he was greedy. And that influenced everything from there on. So I couldn't tell the guy much because he was in denial.
Yeah.
And then I felt he was putting me to a test, so I ended the reading. Yeah.
Well, that's good. It's good as a reader to have boundaries.
Yeah. What do you do?
Yeah.
Or you might be picking up something yourself that, give that information to the person you're reading for, can do that person damage.
Yeah.
And you have to recognise the difference. And it's a very strong feeling. You just know not to tell that person that, if you're being genuine about what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your I'll call it your intuition. Do you think that has helped or saved you in certain situations in your life? Like whether it be a premonition or just a feeling about someone to sort of steer clear of, or warn somebody else about a person or something. Can you see that pattern?
Well, say I could walk into a room of 7, 8, 9 people.
Yeah.
And if there's somebody in that group that my presence or my personality is going to challenge that person, I will know the moment I walk into the room that situation could happen.
Yep.
And I've got to figure out who's the one. And sometimes it becomes really obvious because they will stand out from the others on purpose.
Yeah.
Like they might correct you where you were right, but they correct you, but their correction's been wrong anyway.
Yeah.
Like Paul has done that to me a few times. A good example of it was I said the judges didn't believe that was this person's voice, so they asked her to sing a cappella. And she countered with, "Don't be so stupid, you can't sing a cappella if you're all by yourself." And I thought, I'm not going to pursue this because a cappella means singing without music. One person can sing without music, or 100 people can sing without music, and that's a cappella. But I just let it ride. What else?
So in that way, if you're going to trigger people, I suppose, perhaps that's part of your role as well, because some people need to be triggered to learn a bit more about themselves. Because I believe we're here on a journey of evolution, self-discovery and evolution, and we're meant to get wiser and smarter and have all these lessons, so that we're not meant to stay the same.
Yeah, no, we're meant to evolve.
Yes.
Mentally and physically.
And sometimes we need a little bit of a push if we're too complacent and we're too comfortable.
Yeah.
Because when life's comfortable and cruisy, why would you want to change that? Because that feels nice, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And so sometimes, the universe, spirit, gone, okay, you've been comfortable for long enough. It's time for the next part of your evolution. We need to give you a little bit of a poke here. So sometimes irritants, like other people, are sent our way in order to provoke us so that we can move into that next part of our growth. And we can be that for others as well. We can be the irritant for them. And I
Oh,
think that's
yeah.
what you've just talked about, is
Yeah.
being the irritant. And for any of our family that will end up watching this, I'm sure they'll have a little bit of a chuckle about that, because in our family, everybody's got an Uncle Peter story. Because there's a funny story about a happening or a mishap or a conversation or a, you know, telling somebody what you think or standing up for what you believe is right.
I'd love to be a fly on the wall when you're talking about me.
Oh, I bet you would.
Yeah.
I bet you would. And even passed down to our children, so your great nieces and nephews, where they love to hear the stories. So, you know, my brother's children will, tell us another Uncle Peter story, especially after he came to visit you in Canada.
Yeah.
And they get great delight in the story, but also hearing their father light up as he recounts a situation. So, you know, you've provided a lot of joy, I would say, because most of it ends up in, even if there's a bit of underlying frustration, there's laughter.
Yes, yeah. I was told back when I was 20, somebody gave me a gift of 2 books, one of the North Island, one of the South Island of New Zealand. And inscribed in the book was, you have the ability to make people laugh.
How beautiful.
Yeah.
That's really, really beautiful.
Yeah. That's what he saw in me back then when I was 20, and he was only about 22 himself. Yeah.
Well, and that's continued on.
Well, it has really, because I've always been the comedian, haven't I?
Yes. So even when you've had a cranky moment or reasons to be cranky, later when you're telling the story, you can always find a humorous twist to it.
Yeah.
Or tell it in a way that allows it to be humorous to others. And it's almost like a gift of, thank you for listening to my whinge. I'll give you a laugh along with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I was quite surprised when your father said to me, you know we talk about you, don't you, Pete? And I said, well, I hope so. And then he went on and told me some story that you all got great mirth out of.
Oh, which one?
Excuse me, I didn't realise that you all talked about me until 2 years ago.
Oh, was that right?
Yeah.
Well, you have the ability to make people laugh, but the way you articulate a story takes people on the journey with you, but 99 out of 100 people could tell the same story and it would be a little bit, oh, okay, that happened. But the way you tell it is so humorous that you can make something very ordinary become very entertaining.
Yeah.
And
I do recognise that, as you're saying it, I recognise that in myself.
And I do remember, this is the honesty Uncle Pete has, in your other place in Bullaburra, the one with all the
59 steps.
59 steps. Because you're such a good storyteller, I wanted to impress you by telling you a good story. And I got to the end of it and I realised I had nowhere to go. And you just sat on the bed and you went, is that it? He said, you know, you really built me up for a good story there, and I was so disappointed.
Yeah.
And I was so crushed, and I was like, I don't know if I could ever tell you another story again because I'm just not entertaining.
That's awful when that happens to you.
Yes.
Yeah. You forget why you're telling the story.
Yes. Yeah. And the joke telling, that is just, oh, I've got a joke for that. Oh, I've got a joke for that.
Yeah.
And so what we, Sophia and I at the shop, we often talk about the importance of laughter because it raises our vibrations and that helps us to stay light. And so the laughter that's provided from those sessions is, it doesn't matter how dirty the joke is, if it makes you laugh, it's good for you.
Yes. You know, one of the first things in a Reader's Digest is laughter is the best medicine.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's one of the truest statements that's ever been made by a person. That, because the endorphins that flood your body when you're laughing.
Yes.
Yeah. Raise you up.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And did you have any awareness about members of your immediate family, so your siblings or your parents, that had any kind of, we call it woo-woo, you know, like spiritual experiences with, I don't know, seeing a spirit, seeing a ghost.
Who, me? Have
Yeah,
I?
anyone in your family. Have you ever had knowledge of anyone in your family that had?
Well, Auntie Margaret reckons she saw a ghost.
Yeah.
But I don't know how true that actually is.
Mm.
It was in a corridor like this, and she saw the ghost open a door at the end and go in.
Yep.
Not physically open it, but that's what you see. Other than that, you'd have to ask her about it.
Right. And what about Nana, your mother? Anything there? Because I do remember someone telling me that when she would play the piano, she could feel that sometimes someone was around her.
No, I haven't heard that story.
No?
No.
Actually, something that I went to tell you yesterday, and it didn't happen with the flow of conversations we were having, is that I had a medium reading with one of the readers at our shop, only about a month or so ago. And Nana was right up for a good conversation with me. And about 20, just over 20 years ago, Brandon and I had a very significant car accident where in the moment when it was happening, your life is flashing before your very eyes. And I could see the news broadcast of this car accident and where this family, you know, gets kaput. I could see our car flipping. And I remember thinking, I can't believe this is how it all ends for us, because all in the motion of the car moving in a way that it was going to have a massive impact. And well, I lived to tell the story, so we survived it, and a tree actually stopped our motion, and you know, the car was written off, and it wasn't very pleasant, but we all walked away from that uninjured.
Yeah.
And Nana was very clear in saying in this reading that she did that. She helped the stop of that accident from becoming fatal. So there were details around the accident that the medium was able to give me that I knew exactly what, how authentic that was.
Yeah.
And we had felt in the accident when we'd walked away, like we were just wide-eyed walking around like, how on earth did we survive that? Knowing that we did not think it was going to end that way. We thought it was going to be the end. We had help. Someone saved us.
Yeah.
But we never had quite a connection as to who that might have been, but we were just very, very thankful that Nana has stepped forward and said that was me.
Man.
Yeah.
Here's another thing about palms. You know, Anne Russell's wife?
Yes.
Apparently I read her palm one day.
Yeah.
And she said, I said she's going to have 3 children.
Yep.
And she didn't really want any.
You know, they might watch this.
She said, I felt so distressed when you told me I was going to have 3 children because I didn't want any. And she ended up having 3 children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, I get that. I've had that happen to me very strongly about how many children that person's going to have when they get married or not married.
Yes.
That person's going to produce 3 more people.
People, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You told me I was going to have 2. And I remember trying to replicate what you did where you saw that, because it was all purely on sort of lines in my hand at that time. But my understanding is that it can change the
story can change.
The story can change definitely, but the lines in your hands can also shift and change as well. So at that particular time, that could have been true and correct. And you know, I've been one to buck the system now and then and prove people right or wrong.
I know, but whenever I've read palms, I've always read the right hand. Whereas I was told by somebody who reads palms more professionally than I was, certainly I'm not professional at it. They said you should read the left hand. Well, the right hand's always worked for me. Yeah.
That's nice to know.
Yeah. Well, when I've held the left hand, I haven't got as much feeling as holding the right hand.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's certainly not something that I know too much about, but
It was supposed to be the right hand is what you could do and the left hand is what you are doing, something like that.
oh, okay,
Right. But as I see it the other way round,
right,
I see
yeah,
this is your life.
yeah, yeah. But based on your abilities, a lot of what you're doing is what you're seeing there, but also your intuition and the feeling that you're picking up from
Yeah,
people.
yeah,
And just by touch. And I know you get a lot by that too, because I know when you went to have a reading with Amando at the shop, he said, "Give me your hand."
yeah,
Yeah, I can trust you. You know, you had to have that
yeah.
feel
I had to
and
know.
that you could, you know, that you can trust.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Uncle Peter. And I know that there's going to be a lot of people that will enjoy watching this, especially family
Yeah, you'll say family.
and people
Yeah.
that you know. I know lots of people are going to enjoy watching this episode of Conversations with Cacao. And until next time, this has been Erin
Chin
Elizabeth.
Chin.